Hi, and welcome to the Live and Invest Overseas podcast. I'm Kat Kalashian. I'm based here in Paris, where I am currently webcasting from. But today we're here to talk about dental tourism all over the world, wherever it may be. And to that end, we have 10 of our top recommendations for seeking dental care overseas. So, first of all, what is dental tourism? Dental tourism is going overseas as a medical tourist and getting a dental procedure done while you're in your other location in this new overseas destination. Many people do this. In fact, nearly 500,000 Americans do this every year. And the top reason is to save money. But it's also a great way to combine dental care or medical care, as the case may be, with a vacation and pay much less than you would back home and recover in whatever way you might need to in a beautiful setting afterwards at a fraction of the cost. So as I said, cost is the most common reason that people do this overseas, and the savings are typically up to 70% of what you would pay in the United States. So these are some really, really significant savings that you'll be making depending on where you go. And of course, you're going to have to offset that with the cost of the flights and hotels and other costs that may be associated with your travel. But even still, you can still save lots of money. And that's why it's so popular of an idea to combine this with a vacation. So if you're already going to be spending money to go overseas, why not throw in a little bit of dental work while you're there? It could be for a major work. It could be for a crown or, emergency dental care of some kind. What's more typical, however, in the dental field is simply cleaning and or whitening. Cosmetic procedures generally are the most common because those don't require any recovery. They're not going to ruin your vacation. You get to then go and enjoy your new pearly whites on the beach with the sun shining off your newly white teeth, enjoying your vacation afterwards. However, it is still, an option to go for emergency dental care, and I'll talk about that a little bit later as we get into our destinations. The care, of course, quality is a top concern, but the care is often as good or even better than it is in the United States. The dentists overseas that you would be seeing, especially in these, internationally accredited clinics in some of these countries, they're often US trained, and many hold accreditations both locally and in the United States. So you don't need to worry about that. However, you do need to do your research. You don't want to jump into this without knowing who you're working with, who's going to be working on you rather. So do check those accreditations, read the reviews. Most of these sites, these medical tourism sites are going to have reviews on the site, and you can also do your own search, do a Google search to ask Google, ask the Google machine for reviews about this particular doctor or this particular clinic or whatever the specific procedure that you want done is. So do a little bit of legwork there, read all the reviews, and also don't be afraid to ask questions before you get into this. So many of these expat sites, travel sites, medical tourism sites, dental tourism sites, and just places where expats connect, forums, Facebook groups, Reddit accounts, Twitter accounts. These are the kinds of places where you can go and ask your questions to people that have already done this, or doctors that may be working there, nurses that may be working there, and get your questions answered before you actually spend any money on a plane ticket. So where would you be going? Number 10 on our list, and this is in ascending order. So I'll be going from number 10 to number 1. Number 1 will be our top choice for where to seek dental care overseas. Number 10, however, is the Dominican Republic, which is a great option. The island specializes in cosmetic procedures and dental implants. And it's a wonderful place for recovery. It's a short, quick flight from the US. You're on the same time zone as the East Coast, and it can be a great option for a vacation after you have your little dental procedure, whatever it may be. Number 9 is Romania, which is the best kept secret in Europe for dental tourism. It is first-rate quality services and it's very affordable. However, it is quite far away. So this is an option for if you happen to be in the neighborhood. If you're already planning a trip to Central or Eastern Europe, then maybe you want to think about wedging in a little detour to Romania for some kind of dental procedure if you're already over here. Number 8 is Spain. Again, this isn't a quick flight from the US and you're in a different time zone, but if you're already coming to Western Europe, Spain is a great option for very affordable, top-trained dental surgeons, and also, of course, a wonderful place to spend time on the beach recovering afterwards. Number 7 is the Philippines. Again, we're going even farther away this time. This is not a place that you would be going for an emergency procedure, but if you wanted to plan a vacation over in Asia, there is no better place in the world to save huge amounts of money on medical procedures and dental procedures. So in the Philippines, you'll find plenty of world-class medical and dental clinics and wonderful beaches to rest on afterwards. Number 6 is Panama, which is another one that's great for a quick trip. It's just a couple of hours from some US cities, and it's on the same time zone as the as the East Coast. So it's a great option for a quicker, closer to home level treatment. Here you've got world-class clinics. You'll be spending about half the cost as you would in the US, according to most of our sources. There are many English-speaking doctors to choose from. Again, Panama is very close to the United States and shares a very close relationship, and they have for about 100 years now. So there are many English-speaking doctors and even nurses in Panama. Panama also uses the US dollar, so it may not have occurred to you that you'd be paying for these procedures in another currency, which can work in your favor or against you if the exchange rate goes in a direction you don't want it to. You don't have to worry about that in Panama, though, where the US dollar is the currency used, and you won't have to even think about the exchange rates or the possibility of a big dip or a spike in the currency conversion. It is also not far, as I said, and there are many flights that are often very cheap going down to Panama. Number 5 is Colombia. So we're about halfway through. We are exactly halfway through our list now. Colombia is a great destination, especially because it is so under the radar. Here you would be paying about 70% of what you would pay in the US. And as you may not know that much about Colombia, but their medical system is actually very much ahead of the curve, both medically and dentally. The latest technology is used everywhere. There are many English-speaking doctors here as well. And the country is so frequented already for dental tourism that you can choose a package. So it's actually a little bit turnkey. Actually, you could say that for Panama as well. There would be packages that you could choose from. And when we talked about Panama, we said you don't need to worry about the exchange rate. In Colombia, though, the strength of the dollar against the Colombian peso is so much in your favor that the exchange rate actually saves you tons of money. So if you're going down there as a dollar holder, your dollars are going to go much, much farther than they might in other countries. Number 4 is Thailand, which is known as the land of smiles, and not for nothing. They are one of the most well-known dental tourism destinations and have been for decades already. The facilities here are world-class, and here you'd be paying about 60% of what you might in the United States. So very affordable, plus friendly locals who often speak English. And Bangkok is generally the main city that people go to for any kind of treatment. And it's a very user-friendly city. So in terms of public transportation, you can get around the city as you might need to, and it's very cheap, wonderful food. So a great place to spend time after you have had any procedure that you might be getting. Or you could head out to the beaches and take some time to relax on the beach, which is never far when you're in Thailand. Number 3 is Mexico. This is another one that's great for a quick trip on the same time zone as any part of the US. Any part of the US, you can just go directly south and stay on your own time zone. There are many, many flights. Many are cheap. This is a great destination, not just for care and ongoing maintenance of your teeth, but also for medical emergencies. So Mexico has some of the best care in the world, some of the best hospitals in the world. And so if you have a dental emergency and you can't afford to pay out of pocket, or you can't afford to pay it in the US, run down to Mexico on a cheap flight and you'll pay a fraction of what you would in the US, and you could be treated even sooner than you might have been in the US. So great for emergencies as well as ongoing care. Hundreds of thousands of dental tourists go to Mexico every year, so you know that you're in good company. And of course, a wonderful place to recover, enjoying a margarita on the beach if your medication allows you. Number 2 is Hungary. So this is another faraway destination that you're probably not going to head to for a medical emergency or a dental emergency. Again, though, if you are over here in Europe, Hungary is one of the top dental destinations in the world. It is the most competitive dental tourism market in Europe and has more dentists per capita than any other country in the world. So wonderful dental atmosphere, wonderful dental environment that is fostered here in Hungary. Prices are about a third of the price of what you would pay in the United States. And while Hungary isn't necessarily on many mainstream tourism maps, it is a wonderful place to spend time. I love Hungary. Budapest is one of my favorite cities in the world. It's a very affordable city, affordable country. Great food, good atmosphere, wonderful culture, and lots of things to enjoy. So if you are over here in Europe, this is just one of those good choices if you want to throw in a little detour for some cheap, great quality dental care while you're already over here. And number one, finally, is India. India is the best dental tourism destination for 2020, and it has been named so in other years. It's got many accolades for both dental and medical tourism. It wins many awards and recognitions every year. It is the cheapest place in the world for high quality care, with prices about 70% lower than they are in the US. But the real key here, the huge benefit, is that India boasts the highest English-speaking population outside of the United States. So you would have absolutely no trouble operating here in English, finding an English dentist, having English nurses, and not having any concerns about anything being lost in translation. Most doctors in India are US trained. Many hospitals, clinics, and the doctors themselves have international accreditations as well as local. And many hospitals in India have partnerships with Western hospitals. So you could actually, find a hospital near you or a hospital that you like in the United States and find a partner hospital in India to go work with. So there you have it. That is our list of the top 10 destinations in the world for seeking dental tourism. I hope it's helpful, and happy trails.